On June 25, 1927, Charles Ward Smith, better known as Pastor Chuck, was born in Ventura, California. After high school, he went on to Life Bible College, where he graduated and would go on to become an ordained pastor. In 1965, he began teaching at a small church called Calvary Chapel, located in Costa Mesa, California. This church only had 25 members at the time, but under his leadership and over the years, the church would begin to grow. During this time in the 1960s, America was changing. In New York, there was Woodstock. In San Francisco, there was the Haight-Ashbury scene, the Summer of Love. And these two events were very influential with the new emerging hippie culture. Now, while these two things were taking place, or had taken place, the Vietnam War was also going on. And many of the soldiers who returned from Vietnam came home to an America that did not welcome them. So with Woodstock and the Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco, the Vietnam War, these were very influential factors that led to a new cultural shift in America. So what was so different about Pastor Chuck? Well, first, Pastor Chuck had a sincere concern for the lost. And this culture of the 1960s, the hippies and soldiers in Vietnam, many people were lost. They didn't know what direction America was going in, and people were experimenting with drugs, with LSD, and there were a lot of revolutions, the sex revolution, music revolution, all of these things that were taking place, and people were searching for something to believe in. So Pastor Chuck welcomed all these people and was ready to share with them the love of Jesus. Another thing that Pastor Chuck did was allow contemporary music to be played in church. And this was a great way to draw in the youth who could relate to this contemporary music. And finally, Pastor Chuck was a firm believer in simply teaching the Word of God simply. And all this means is that he taught the Bible in a word by word and verse by verse, chapter by chapter style. His openness, his love, his compassion, his he was very much easy to approach. These were characteristics that he had that drew many people to go listen to him teach and preach in church. And with that, his small church of 25 began to grow very rapidly. This marked the beginning of the Jesus movement, or the Calvary Chapel movement, as some call it. There was a time when they could no longer fit in their small church, so they began holding church underneath a large tent, which they called the Big Tent Revival. And this rapid church growth began to many influential people began to come out of this rapid church growth, such as Pastor Greg Laurie here in Riverside, California. He was one of many who were mentored under Pastor Chuck. And many came to know Jesus, and many came to become Christian during this time. In 2013, Pastor Chuck passed away after 86 years of teaching the Word of God and planting new churches, over 1,500 churches, as a matter of fact, throughout the U.S. and not only across the U.S., but throughout the world. He influenced thousands of men and women and left a legacy that will influence people for many generations to come.